Breaking now at 11 o'clock, gunfire erupting inside the Westfield Valley Fair Mall in San Jose on one of the busiest shopping days of the year. 3 people were shot in what's been a chaotic Black Friday. Shaken customers seen running from the mall while police cleared the scene. An investigation is underway right now as we are gathering new details. And Eyewitness News reporter Abigail Velez is in the studio right now with the very latest on this shooting. Tragic situation.
Absolutely. This is the last thing you want to happen right after a holiday. But David, this is what we know just before 6 o'clock. And with that mall packed for Black Friday, this is when this all unfolded. And you can imagine how fast panic spread. Police say this was not an active shooter, but rather an argument that escalated. Tonight, the suspect is still out there. This is the moment fear erupted inside the Macy's at Westfield Valley Fair Mall in San Jose on this Black Friday. People screaming and sprinting out of stores with bags in their hands after gunfire broke out. Law enforcement sources tell ABC News the shooter was with the group when a fight or argument broke out.
A sudden burst of gunfire shattered the packed Black Friday rush at Westfield Valley Fair, sending hundreds of shoppers scrambling for cover as chaos erupted across the second floor of the mall. Witnesses said the shots came without warning, slicing through the noise of holiday crowds and triggering an instant wave of panic. Security alarms blared, stores slammed their gates shut, and terrified families sprinted toward exits. Within minutes, law enforcement swarmed the property, treating the situation as an urgent criminal threat. Initial confusion sparked fears of an active shooter, though authorities later stressed it was an isolated confrontation.
I don't know how they were able to figure that out so fast, but this is why, I try to stay away from certain environments. I know that Black Friday historically has always brought chaos and confusion, and it also is around the biggest drinking day of the year, which is Thanksgiving, and then everybody is out, and then you got all of these young people running around. And I think that young people have created an environment that's also not conducive for our lifestyles. And so when you see certain things pop off, you have to start trusting your instincts. You can't hang around. You can't continue to participate. You can't even really have a good time anymore without keeping your head on the swivel. Now, we teach women how to go out in pairs. We are very protective over our children. And to have somebody this careless, because you can't have done this just one time, if you're willing to shoot on a Black Friday in a mall after having an argument with somebody, and you already know what the element is, you already know that it's probably some young people, some thug people, some gang members, I just couldn't be bothered anymore, bro. It's not worth it.
Immediate shock left the entire mall frozen in fear as the investigation began. Police confirmed that 3 people were struck by gunfire near the Macy's entrance, including an adult male, an adult female, and a 16-year-old girl. All sustained injuries described as non-life-threatening, but the scene was saturated with tension as medics rushed victims out through crowded corridors.
Officers say he opened fire on the victims at around 5:40 tonight, then took off with several women who had strollers.
2 patients, possibly 3 at this point. Shooter still at large. Scene is
all over an argument. That's pretty wild, bro.
Not secure.
3 people were shot, all with injuries that are not life-threatening. But here you can see a single bullet punch through a store window, sending glass in every direction. From above, you can see just how crowded this mall was. A packed parking lot, thousands of cars filling spaces at one of the Bay Area's biggest shopping destinations. Black Friday usually pushes this mall to near capacity, and tonight San Jose police had to clear it store by store. Investigators are calling this an isolated incident, not an act.
And you know how much money was lost because of this? Do you know how many people were impacted? Do you know what the subconscious impression that's going to be left in your mind because you went out on Black Friday or you tried to participate in retail activity and an argument led to 3 people getting shot, a 16-year-old, a woman, and a man? That's so stupid over an argument. What are the gun laws? Hey, y'all let me know inside of the chat. What's the gun laws inside of California, bro, over in San Jose?
Shooter. Police say they're now reviewing surveillance video and interviewing witnesses, hoping to identify the shooter and the group he was with before he ran off.
Officers quickly worked to determine how the shooting unfolded, mapping out the trajectory of the bullets and identifying where the altercation first erupted. Holiday shoppers reported hearing anywhere from 3 to 5 shots, creating a brief but intense moment of danger. Authorities locked down several wings of the mall to conduct early forensic sweeps and secure key evidence. An investigation was launched immediately to establish motive and identify the shooter. The timeline began around the early evening rush, when Black Friday foot traffic peaked, placing thousands of people inside the building. According to investigators, the shooting occurred just outside the Macy's second-floor entrance, before the suspect fled the scene. Chaos spread quickly as the sound echoed into neighboring stores, causing employees to guide customers into stock rooms. Officers moved floor by floor, clearing hallways and verifying reports from panicked callers. Emergency response teams set up triage points on the ground level to manage incoming victims and assess the broader safety risks.
All of this over an argument, all of this over a disagreement. It's so dumb that people can't go out and enjoy themselves or spend time with family during the holidays, because a lot of what people are doing is they'll spend time with family during the holidays, and because they're out of town, that Friday will be the day that not necessarily just people out Black Friday shopping, because everybody is not necessarily looking to get a deal, but most people are just trying to be active. They're trying to find a sense of relationship by spending quality time outside of the Thanksgiving dinner. And I know a lot of people that head out, during that day, and they just out and about and they doing stuff and they going to the restaurants and stuff like that. And for this to happen, especially to a 16-year-old was shot, and we don't know, right? Of course, I'm gonna keep you guys in a loop on, what happened, if when I get more information, all of that stuff, if I have the opportunity to do so. But a young person, and thank God nobody actually died from it. You don't really know the details of it. A lot of times, when I sense something happening, or if I could sense somebody got negative energy or anything like that, I'm out of there. I'm getting up out of there immediately. So it's sad that, such a beautiful time of the year, in my opinion, Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up, that you see this senseless violence and nothing is worth it. Nobody getting you out of your peace just over an argument should be worth you trying to take somebody's life, should be worth you trying to go back and forth. Arguments aren't even worth it. I tell people to be, intelligent, to think your way through, to be logical instead of leading with your emotions. And most people can't do it. Most people can't walk away from a confrontation because they got too much ego. Somebody bumped into you, somebody cut the line in front of you, somebody did any of that type of stuff. Man, I just let that junk roll off my shoulders, and I don't even remember who the person was that did it half the time. So we can't be easily offended, but more importantly, we have to be vigilant about the environments and the places that we go to, because you never know what could pop off. You could be an innocent bystander and somebody else can get into an argument, and you got to get up out of there. So I'm an advocate for being situationally aware, manage your surroundings, try to prevent yourself from being in certain situations that'll, cause for you to be inconvenienced, and nobody wants to get hit with a stray bullet. There's no point in trying to talk to people that commit the violence, because, they the ones that's illogical in the first place, and nobody listens to you from that front. So the only thing that I could tell people to do is be a lot more protective over your energy, the time, and the environment that you in, and just try to avoid any kind of nonsense. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T. Tanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.